Hello, and welcome to another generic paranormal show, man. I'll be your host, KD, or the host formerly known as KD, the paranormal investigator formerly known as KD. Now I've ascended, and my name is now K Dizimus. So I'm here with my co-host, Austin Mater. Yeah, man.
I'm just Austin. You don't have to. I'm not anything special like he is.
Well, I am quite special, but all that will be revealed later.
Yeah,
it will be revealed later. I'm definitely not trying to start a cult or anything like that. So if that's what you're thinking, then that's weird that you would even think that.
you're just a little bit special.
I mean, yeah, I'm a little creeped out that you would think that, but so anyway, man, yeah. So for tonight's drinks, we'll be serving Kool-Aid. I mean, Chardonnay. It'll be Chardonnay. We'll chase Haley's Comet with like some gin and juice next time, or like some lean. We'll get some lean.
Lean's
Put it in the Sprite.
Lean's good.
Yeah.
Well, lean is Sprite, and it's like
yeah, right.
The
it's
drink
the
itself
liquid. What is it? Liquid Xanax or whatever?
No, it's liquid
opioids.
It's promethazine, codeine, cough syrup.
Yeah, opioid. Yeah. That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So what's up, everybody? Hello to anybody that is intentionally torturing themselves by watching this show. Tim Lovejoy, how are you? Timmy. Yep. So tonight we're going to be discussing. We will be discussing the occult and technology, and it's the occult's influence, as well as its impact on modern technology and science, right? So I don't think a lot of people when they think about that, like who comes to mind when you start thinking about like scientists that may have dabbled in spirit communication or believed in ghosts, or maybe allegedly developed a device to communicate with ghosts. What comes to mind, Austin?
Tesla, Edison, fucking Constantine Rodovay. Shoot,
all these things, all these people were indeed.
There's a few of them.
Yeah, there's quite a few, and
a collection, I would say.
I think the problem why the connection isn't made between. I don't think a lot of people make a connection between paranormal research and the occult, even though they don't do it consciously, right? Because the occult has bad connotations, right? It's like, ooh, it's a dirty word. Oh, Aleister Crowley. Oh God, Lord, right?
People think satanic and dark, and
they do think satanic. They do, and I know I was raised Southern Baptist, so I do. Hey, Len Scott, Lauren Jeffries. I do realize that the majority of denominations of Protestant Christians, as well as the Catholic faith, they do see. It's kind of odd to me, but they do see attempting to invoke or communicate with the supernatural, not just ghosts, but anything like demons or angels. They see it as demonic or a sin, right?
Blasphemous. Yeah.
Well, but I mean, that doesn't really make sense to me, because think about King Solomon, right?
Well, Solomon had special abilities that were given to him, but he wasn't necessarily. Yeah, but he wasn't necessarily trying to like just speak to the dead. He was like controlling demons or something.
That
right?
As well.
Well, he did, but that wasn't his intent. His intention wasn't necromancy.
I think it's because there's not a lot to learn from just spirits of passed on humans, right? Especially back then. A lot, for King Solomon, the wisest king that ever lived, there wasn't a lot to learn from spirits. So his and I imagine if he did have the ability to summon, invoke, and summon and control these demons the way he did, supposedly in like not the Arts of Worship, but what is in the book of was it the book of Enoch, where they explain very, very detailed. I can't remember which one it is. It's not the Arts. Arts of Worship lists out the 72.
I thought the book of Solomon was.
It might be the book of Solomon. It might be the book of Solomon, but that's like I didn't think it did. I think it might be the Lesser Key of Solomon. That's it. The Lesser Key of Solomon. There we go. So anyway,
but Solomon, like, there was a reason that if anybody were to be given these abilities by God, it would have been
he was the most faithful. It was his faith, though, in God.
Well, that plus God knew that he would be wise and would use the power responsibly, like that kind of thing.
But he did, and he didn't, because like God gives us abilities, but those abilities can be a blessing or a curse, and he doesn't know I don't think he knows what we're going to do with them like ahead of time. I don't believe in predestination, because if predestination were a thing, then free will wouldn't be a thing, and that's what God gave us, was free will.
So, I think there are certain things that are like predetermined or
sure. If
some things,
if all these variables, all these factors fall into place exactly in this exact order, then yes, that and nothing else out of nowhere. There's no random interference. Then
like
sure,
there's a path.
There is a reality out there where there's lots of realities. If you think about the multiverse.
Like you could look at it as like, God has laid out a path for you, and it's your duty to make the right choices to stay on that kind of path, and if you stray from that, like, getting into like drug addiction and all that other stuff that, is really bad.
You use your abilities that God gave you.
Yeah,
for nefarious reasons, which King Solomon's down. That's where he messed up. See, I don't think
Well, that's where the original angels, like including Lucifer, that's why they remained on Earth, right? That's why
they remained here because they liked human women. No, they weren't banished. You talking about the fallen angels? They were called the fallen angels.
But wasn't that against his orders, though?
Here's what I believe.
It was against God's orders, though, or God's wishes. Like they were not supposed to do that, and they knew that.
There may be something about that in some like
they were not supposed to take human wives. Like
they were not supposed to take. That was very clear, but they didn't. It didn't really talk about how they did or did not have the freedom to travel back and forth to our realm from the supernatural realm.
But this is where the free will came into play. Was they chose the wrong?
But I'm saying that wasn't necessarily wrong for them to visit the human realm. It was wrong for them to take
wives and have kids, have the Nephilim. Right?
That was and that's why they're called the fallen angels, not because they fell from heaven, because they weren't allowed back to heaven after they did what they did.
Right, and that fell under the category of what you would call free will, right? Because they had the ability.
That indicates that there's at least one species of, I call them species, or type of angelic being, or daimone.
Well, they were messengers.
There was at least one subgroup of angels, being the bigger group, that had free will. I don't know that all of them had free will, or if all of them, like, I think a lot of angels are probably just terrifying. Like, it would be something out of a like a Lovecraftian horror, cosmic horror.
When if you base it off of like the biblical descriptions, they're like terrifying.
Right. Yeah, it's nuts, right? Like
but they're not. like the
The
picturesque
wheel with the
angel,
eyes.
like person with the wings and glowing, like that is not like I don't know where the hell
That is
came
one
from.
type. That is one type. That is a seraphim.
Is it?
That's a seraphim. Yeah, a seraphim
Oh, the
looks like a
cerebrum,
human.
yeah.
Yeah, it has the body of a human and wings of a bird or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's the seraphim. Then you have the cherubim. Cherubim are the children like, or no, it's cherubim. Sorry, cherubim are the ones on the ark.
Yeah.
Seraphim, I think, are the ones that look like humans. I can't remember exactly. I could go back and look it up, but I got too much other shit pulled up right here.
Yeah, let's
Move on. But
back to the
that was
occult.
just kind of my platform, right? For like so basically what I'm saying is I'm connecting what we do as paranormal researchers, what no matter what you want to call it. People don't like to call it necromancy. That's what it is. It is a form of necromancy.
And
They
modern
don't, and it's also occultism.
technomancy, bro. That's why I call this. We're the order of technomancers. Like that's
Right.
part of the thing. We're modern day necromancers. Instead of using necromancy, we're using techromancy.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I came up with it. I know.
Well, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the audience.
Oh,
Man.
I know.
I
Oh, yeah. Oh, I thought
you
you were explaining it to me of why we
Well,
call.
you
No,
wanted it to be technomancy, and I'm
I
like,
like Technomancer better. It just has a better sound to it, but I understand why you don't want to use that because it sounds like techno music. And there is an actual techno music band named Technomancer, and there's a video game named Technomancer as well. Never played it, but I heard it was shitty.
But techromancer is unique.
Techromancer sounds like
necromancer with a T
like
instead of an N, even though it's kind of spelled a little different.
What is tech? Let's see. How about like what else would sound cool? Techmeister. And just because in German Meister means master. So Techmeister or what's yeah, I'd fuck that up too. So, and then I'd think of Jägermeister. You could say you're what is it a poltermeister, a ghost master. Or Geistmeister.
Well, that would be Solomon in a way, I guess. Then that would bring us back to Solomon.
Yeah, we bring him back to Solomon. So he obviously, I think, if he could communicate and control demons and angels and supernatural beings, he could obviously, if he chose, he did actually have at least connections that could connect him to spirits of deceased people, that because that's one of the things he got in trouble for. Was that so because he wasn't supposed to, he was not trusting God by trying to get divination, and that was where he fucked up. So his faith, the angel gave him the ring with the sigil on it, and that ring is like legendarily where he got his ability from. But I think it's kind of like not really. That ring was just a symbol of his of God, like granting him these abilities, right by measure of his faith. And when his faith bar ran down, the abilities to communicate and summon ran down as well. So that's and I started talking about Solomon because that's where a lot of the modern day occult world that was built basically by Aleister Crowley, it was all these things put together by him. He actually had a pretty big impact on technology. I don't know if you know this.
I did not.
But have you ever heard of Jack Parsons?
The name I have heard, but I can't remember what
not is. Jim Parsons from
the Big Bang, not him. Bang. Yeah,
Jack Parsons. So Jack Parsons is, I don't think we give him enough attention, and you can love him or hate him. It is what it is. Same thing with Aleister Crowley, right? So Aleister Crowley,
Aleister Crowley has like a whole devoted cult following behind him. So I mean,
he did. He started the cult. He literally started the occult.
Right. And
like
so
everything we think of
has
a
cult following behind him. Right. So like, yeah, I mean,
yeah, he's not just a following. it's almost a culture. He built a culture around it, and his
Yeah, I
followers.
feel like he gets plenty of credit, to be fair. Aleister Crowley.
Well, not Aleister Crowley. Well, Aleister, I don't think he gets enough credit for his influence in technology though, because his influence,
That may be true.
the connection there is with Jack Parsons. So Jack Parsons is a very interesting figure. He worked for NASA. He actually worked for the U.S.
He was
government.
the engineer, wasn't he?
Yes, and he developed a
So-
special type of rocket that made it, us able to fly rockets as far as the moon. And let me see, I'm looking. I'm trying to find like what exactly his accomplishment was, but he is well known for it. He's very demonized. All anybody ever talks about is like his hedonism, because Aleister Crowley was the same way. They were all hedonistic. They believed in it was just power more than anything else, right? Sex with whatever, whoever.
Yeah.
But so they say there's different accounts. So one account says that they got rid of Jack Parsons because he had become a drunk and he sucked at his job and he wasn't coming to work and he wasn't doing his work. Another account says that he actually died. No, he died in an accident in the lab, right? And a lot of people contributed that to his occult work.
Like he made a deal with the devil.
Yes, and there's even like a specific demon. I think that it wasn't Satan. It was like a specific demon that he had pledged his allegiance to. And here's the thing about pledging your allegiance to a demon. They want repayment.
They'll come to collect.
So you have to, right? It's like Paimon, dude. Like you don't make deals with fucking entities like Paimon.
No, when you make a deal with the devil or a deal with a demon, like you have no say of when they come to collect. They could come to collect their bill tomorrow.
Oh, sure. And it might be everything, and it might not be everything, but it's definitely going to be
whatever you gave up, whatever you sacrificed, your firstborn,
whatever they need, whether they're opportunists, right? So it's going to be whatever.
Or they hit you when it'll hurt you the most.
It might be something that really hurts you, or it might be something that they just need done, and you're the one capable of doing it, and so that's their repayment. And but you have to be. There's a lot of people who talk about making deals with
well, wasn't the one dude that shot his, I can't remember, like I don't think, was it Ronnie DeFeo that said the devil made me do it? Who was that one?
Sure, there was lots of people that said that though.
Well,
Ronnie DeFeo and the Amityville Horror.
Yeah, but I wasn't talking about him though, because I know that he said he was hearing voices. But there was one case from like the Warrens were apparently involved in the court case.
Mm-hmm.
Like the recent movie.
Yeah.
The devil made me do it. Like
I didn't see that. I haven't seen any of them since it's been a while.
Yeah. But there are people that, I didn't even think about that until you just said it. And it's like, yeah, well, that's true. Yeah.
So I'm just using Gemini here and diving into his Jack Parsons achievements. All right. So right here we got he was born in 1914, died 1952. Okay. He was a foundational figure in math. How old is he? He's 30.
Jesus.
36, 38.
Dang.
Is that right? 37. One of the two. Anyway, so he was credited in inventing the solid fuel that made modern space travel possible. Not only that, but also made modern nuclear capabilities possible. The ICBMs, that all, they claimed they were just trying to race to the moon. No, they were trying to race to that part of orbit so they could, for weapon delivery systems. We ain't dumb, y'all. Come on, you're gonna have to try a little bit harder
Are you sure that maybe we were like kind of doing both, like the way that they found the Titanic?
Dude, they didn't give a shit about the moon. They went to the moon and they were like, "Oh, fucking cool. We'll throw a ball. We'll fucking get a bucket of dirt, and we'll."
I thought, if anything, they cared only because they wanted to beat Russia.
It was kind of a optic propaganda.
I know that
campaign also, but the main
you
reason.
Think we went to the moon?
Yeah, I think we did. Yeah, I think there's more evidence that says we did than we didn't, and I'm not going to waste my time trying to like having an existential freaking crisis over like everybody's all the lens that they used. It was one of a kind. It was one that Stanley Kubrick had specifically made for one of the movies he made. I think it was maybe even The Shining. I can't remember. Well, that one of those long, crazy, wide angle shots. He had a special camera, special lens made, right? And yes, Stanley Kubrick was involved with the moon landing because for camera purposes, right? Like when you're putting all your cards into all your eggs into one freaking basket and you're about to launch them across the yard, you want to make sure that they land somewhere safe and that you get pictures of it or it didn't happen. And so what would you do? You would hire the smartest people in the world to not only make your cameras, but to also start your rocket program. And turns out one of the smartest people in the world that started the rocket program was Jack, or didn't start it. That was actually Werner von Braun that started it. But Braun. Jack Parsons actually kicked it off. So, I mean, that's a pretty big deal. The invention of K-stable solid rocket fuel. Parsons' most significant breakthrough was using liquid asphalt as a binding agent with potassium perchlorate as an oxidizer. The Gausset 53 formula. This created a stable, restricted burn fuel that could be safely stored and mass-produced. A technology later refined for NASA's space shuttle boosters and Polaris missiles. See, there you go, Polaris missiles. There you go. So, co-founder of JPL, he was a principal member of the Suicide Squad at Caltech, whose experiments in the Arroyo Seco led directly to the establishment of the Jet Propulsion Laboratory. So that's another thing that all right, so jet-assisted takeoff, or JATO, during World War II, he developed the first reliable JATO. You remember seeing that thing that looks like a flying saucer? But it was an Army plane that's had like a hover, like props in it. I think that's what this is, the JATO. So which use rockets. No, that ain't even that, dude. I don't even know what this is. Which use rockets to help heavily loaded military aircraft take off from short runways.
Oh, that's like the Raptors.
No, this was World War II, dude.
I mean, I believe they had that technology.
The Germans definitely had it. They had the Messerschmitts. That was the first jet fighter plane that was ever used, was the Messerschmitt.
Oh no, that's correct. Okay, never mind. It was actually like they actually turned on the jets
but they used rockets. They used solid fuel rockets to help get the initial lift on heavily loaded, like probably planes and shit full of tanks or whatever. You know, I did not know that. I'm gonna have to look up
or the video of that. Possibly to help with the technology to allow fighter jets to get off of aircraft carriers because of the short distance and the fact that they need to accelerate to an insanely fast speed to be able to get the lift off of the aircraft carriers. I know that you know about this shit too. Well, maybe I don't know. I know that you were on.
They have Harriers. A Harrier is a vertical takeoff jet, and I think there's a couple new jets that they have now. But
I don't think that's what that's talking about.
No. This sounds like they just strap rockets onto some C-130s or on the what were they back then? C-13s or something like that. I can't remember. Anyway, whatever big 4-prop plane they had that Rangers used to jump out of, parachute out of. That's probably what they were strapping rockets to, and just blasting those fuckers off the runways of the aircraft or the aircraft carrier. That's nuts, but okay, sure. Anyway, Tim Lovejoy here says, if Satan never messes with you, he already has you. I don't know why, Greg Koss, I don't know why you call me right during the middle of my podcast, bud. You probably can see me on here. But if Satan never messes with you, he already has you. He get baptized by submerging, then public stated afterwards. The real, I don't, and that's a matter of that's a matter of contention. Also, is that do you have to state it publicly? Why? It's I'm not a big. I was raised Southern Baptist, but I believe everything you just said. I don't believe you need to be baptized, but I do believe that is good for you. Good for you to move on past your past and to learn how to be forgiven, right? So anyway,
what happened with them? Why does a baby get baptized?
That's like a Catholic thing, dude. They're
Isn't that a Baptist thing?
No, you get baptized when you're Baptist whenever you're
Catholics,
understanding. So as soon as you're like 11, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, see, I'm not like totally.
I got baptized when I was like 10 or 11.
I didn't get baptized. My parents wanted to give me my parents said they wanted us to have the choice.
Well, that's what I said too. And I mean, I had a choice. I didn't have to get baptized. I wanted to.
I may later
witnessing. Life. So witnessing, yes. So witnessing is sharing your story. That's your testimony. Is sharing it. Again, this is my opinion. This is not the word, but I'm just saying. If I ran a cult, which I totally don't, my opinion of witnessing is sharing your testimony, and that is to show everybody, to show others how much how God's helped you, and not just that, because that's even kind of selfish in itself. It's more to help that person understand that they can overcome whatever they're going through, just like you did, by accepting Jesus Christ. But anyways, that's yeah. I mean, that's just the Christian.
Preachy.
It's not preachy. It's just what you do as a Christian, and it does tell you there's different interpretations of it. But anyway, and I believe that there's different callings for people, right? Like everybody says, oh, don't investigate the paranormal or evil stuff or demons or any of that, because that's evil, right? It says so in the Bible. Well, it doesn't really say that in the Bible. It says a lot of things in the New or the Old Testament. The Bible, the Old Testament and the New Testament, if you read them, it seems like everyday people interacted with supernatural events and they had supernatural shit going on like every damn day.
So I have some comments about that, man, that I find incredibly interesting.
So they weren't like running around like, oh, they were going to Jesus to be healed. They saw him like bring Lazarus back from the dead, and there was always people around. But I'm saying the supernatural was more of a part of everyday life for people back then, I think. But nowadays, technology is just a new word for the supernatural, right? Because the secular side of society doesn't want to, they don't know how the fuck a cell phone works, but to them it's literally magic, right? Because the average person could not build an iPhone.
I mean, if you were to,
this might as well be the Sorcerer's Stone right here, bud.
If I were to bring it to like North Sentinel Island and like the fucking tribe that's on the North Sentinelese people, that would definitely be a supernatural sorcerer kind of rock that you have. Like, what the fuck
just because of the difference in knowledge
of frame of reference is way different. So
you couldn't build a cell phone.
No, how are you building it is a different
story. I'm talking about understanding how it works as far as that goes. The Sentinelese person understands almost as much how a cell phone works as far as the technology that's in it as the average person. Maybe not you, the average person. The average person could not tell you what type of screen a cell phone has on it.
I would argue that the average person could tell you that there are circuits and chips and many computers inside your phone.
Yeah, but they don't even know what that means. Circuits.
No,
and
but
chips.
they can at least tell you that.
Yeah, they can
the lead wouldn't even be able to say that that's a phone. They'll say, "What is that in your hand?"
Okay, teach them English, and they're going to say the same thing. But yeah, I know what you're saying. You're saying it's just, but that's more of a language barrier. Like they don't.
The frame of reference barrier. They have no frame of
exactly.
understanding to like.
But the point is, they don't understand how that phone works anymore. Like the average person couldn't make one in reality, like functional, practically. They might be able to tell you, there's
one together,
screen and there's a but they don't know, like they don't even know what cell phone, like how cell phones work. They can't, if you tell them that it works on radio waves, they don't know what you're talking about. They're like, it doesn't work on radio waves. I don't have to have my radio on to use my phone.
Well, maybe a fucking college blonde girl or something.
Dude,
like.
Have you seen the Whatever
college
podcast?
girl?
It's sad. It's sad. The Whatever.
It is sad. That's what college educated students nowadays come about with. But
anyway, so that's like, in my opinion, the first connection between the occult and modern technology that hits me right away is, I mean, like really the occult and modern technology is Jack Parsons. And we speculate and we take things probably maybe out of context about things Tesla said in interviews and everything, and you know, also you have to take into context like the situation that all those people were in, like him and what's his name, Edison. They were battling it out, right? So Edison's putting out tons of propaganda, so you have to take propaganda into context as well. And so, but as far as people who are actually like doing weird shit, right? Like that Jack Parsons is the guy, bro. He's the guy. He helped Aleister Crowley like form the modern occult and the modern space program. So it will forever be intertwined with the occult. So, and there, but I think even beyond that, there's always been like a tie, some sort of weird tie from the occultism and the esoteric and the supernatural and technology, no matter how primitive it was. Like it could be as primitive as a mirror made out of volcanic glass, right? But yet they use it as a conjuring tool.
Is that obsidian?
Obsidian is a type of volcanic glass, yes.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, they did have obsidian mirrors. I think were the first scrying mirrors ever made. Yeah. First mirrors ever made, I think.
No, well, the first mirrors actually used to use glass and then mercury. It was like fucking crazy.
You sure? They didn't find a chunk of
I mean, that's possible that like when I'm talking about mirrors, I'm talking about like Victorian era.
Oh no!
Like but they had mirrors, like real mirrors.
Obsidian as mirrors, though, dude.
Oh, I'm sure they did.
Really like regular mirrors too, not like fancy like
Right, I'm sure they did. I mean, it's a naturally. They also used it as like hunting tools and sharp knives and all kinds of shit because it was very, very sharp.
This is very, very sharp. Do not touch it. It will cut you for sure. I was sorry, I'm looking for something here. What the hell happened to my
racist?
Whatever. It probably was. So what? Okay. Everybody and everything is racist nowadays. That word has lost all meaning. So, yeah, there's no meaning to that word anymore. If I hear somebody calling somebody a racist, I feel like that person is racist.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, it's turned the other
100%.
way. It's really
100%.
weird. It's a wacko, weirdo world we live in right now. But legacy, inspiration for Werner von Braun. The first rocket scientist, Werner von Braun, reportedly referred to Parsons as the true father of American rocketry. So even Werner von Braun recognized his, that he was actually more influential than even himself. Werner von Braun sold it more than, I mean, he did participate in the technology, but he was also the poster child.
Well, I can appreciate Werner von Braun a little bit more in that sense because he actually publicly gave credit where credit was due. It sounds like he actually, I mean, it sounds like he publicly stated, like, no, this guy is the true father of this, you know. Like, I mean, I feel like that's paying homage, that's showing respect. You know what I mean? I don't know. I have respect for that part.
Tim, I see all these Bible verses right here, and all these are legit Bible verses, and they do mean stuff, but there is also a lot of other context as well. You have to take into account the people that who was the author of the book talking to when they wrote the book, right? It doesn't. There are people with callings that delve into that dabble into the occult side of things, and that's just the way it's always been. Look at King James, and he's the reason why those verses are even in the Bible, and he was one of the most prolific demonologists and I guess esoteric documentarians, whatever, researchers that there ever was. He wrote like they call them like books on like different demonology and stuff, different types of demonology, but in reality it's just their grimoires because they're word for word detailed instructions on how they did their ceremonies, and they're it's crazy. He would actually go and watch these things, yet he had our Bible that we read to this day organized the way it is. So I mean,
that's the King James Bible.
And the Bible, the Bible is a good go-to tool for guidance in your life, but my ultimate guidance comes from prayer, and that's where mine comes from. I do read the Bible, and I do believe the Bible is God's word, but I don't believe it's the completeness of it. That's if it was, then God would have no reason to. We'd have no reason to speak to him. We just refer to the Bible all the time.
I wonder if, like, in 1,000 years, there's going to be a new testament of the Bible.
Well, there will be when I assume when Christ returns.
When the apocalypse happens.
I don't know which is going to happen first. I don't even know how it's going to happen. It's all very subjective, like as to how to interpret it all, because it's also cryptic. It's it's really hard to say. If he was talking about like the end of their civilization as they knew it, which kind of did happen, when you had the Dark Ages and everything right after that, that could have been viewed by a lot of people, by cultures, as the end of the world, dude. When the plague was happening, I'll bet you they thought it was the end of the world. I forget, it was a huge percentage of people in Europe died. It was like
it was like 30 or
4 out of 10.
40%. Yeah, it was like 30 or 40% of people
died, and that's a huge population. That's a huge die-off in a short amount of time.
Well, I think at the time it was like something like 3 million people, which was a huge percentage of the population of Europe at that time. Like a massive person, because I mean, obviously now the population is sky high, but like back then, a few million people would have been a huge amount of people.
Oh yeah, I mean, regardless of if you got 1 million or 10 million,
that would have been a good percentage.
If you lose 40% of your population, that's a huge chunk. I think I read
somewhere like 5 to 7% of the world population, if I would guess.
Well, I read. Well, I've read.
I could be way off though. I'm just.
I don't know about that because the only actual legit like good records most of the good records we have are from Europe. I don't know that it was documented properly or as extensively in other countries. I know it did, but they think it came from Asia on a merchant ship. But anyway, so even back then they were using devices to communicate with what we think are spirits, but at the end of the day, it's like I always say, you don't know if they're spirits, and I don't like. It's good to have mediums around, for like another angle on an investigation, but I don't like for mediums to lead investigations. I don't like for them to be just like involved the entire time and then saying what they're seeing, what they're feeling while we're trying to do our research or trying to do an ITC or doing whatever, because like that's a separate experiment, and then that's kind of interfering, that's derailing the whatever narrative that's being built by my ITC session, right?
The way I get around that though, like the way I use Brandy when she comes around, is she is gonna hold a piece of equipment. She's gonna be holding the direct link. She's gonna be holding the ink box. She's gonna be holding because if she's like I want the equipment to, and she does too. She wants the equipment to validate what she's picking up on.
I hate to say it, but psychics should work by themselves. They should do the work like by themselves. But I mean, it sounds kind of rude or whatever. But they should, because
they are an antenna.
Well, not only that, but they're also suggesting. It's a very suggestive form of research, right? Like, and it becomes like leading the whole thing a lot of times. But I think that the equipment might hinder them. I think they should do their like a different aspects of psychic mediumship events or experiments, like maybe simultaneously in a different area while you're conducting another experiment. It's just that it's hard to put those things together unless you are the medium, right?
Well, yeah, but I think like there's ways you can do it. Like, for instance, I would want her to tell me what she's picking up on.
Yeah, that's what your experiment entails.
Yeah, and so basically what I want is for her to tell me what she's picking up on as she's holding this device and see, well, I want her to give me find a way to show me that there is intelligent interaction coming from the box because of her presence and because of her interaction with the box. And I mean, I've seen that with both.
It's kind of hard to prove, though.
It is incredible. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's almost impossible. Just like
it's impossible to actually prove.
But
it does add another layer of validation.
Well, yes, exactly. That's the whole point. Is like if she's saying like this is what I'm picking up on a woman. She's trying to tell me what her name is. It starts with a M, and then through the device it says like Melody or Mary or something. You know what I mean? Like there's that kind of like a woman's voice comes through loud and clear and says Mary. Like, there's relevancy that comes in with it. And, you kind of look at all these different like it's circumstantial, right? It's circumstantial in a big way. But I think that there's ways you can, it's just validating more like you said, a layer of validation being added onto it.
All right, so let's move on to another point here. This related to technology and the occult. How about this one for an obscure one for you? Let me see here. I have notes. Okay, so how about let me pull up quick info on this dude real quick.
Well, you talk about people that are mediums that say that
people that can communicate. No, like people who were involved in the occult but had a huge influence on modern technology, and as a side effect, society because of that. Okay, so here we go. This is super interesting. I didn't think about this. I had heard something about this, but I didn't think about it until I don't know why. What was going on with my freaking screen over here, dude? This is ridiculous.
Leapfrogging. Isn't that kind of like taking somebody's idea and taking it further?
All right, so I'm not gonna be able to look at the chat right away, but gosh dang it, where'd we go?
Yeah, and Timmy, you're absolutely right. But again, it's all about setting the right parameters and understanding where it really all comes down to the people conducting the investigation and having to understand what the limitations are, what could be false positive. You have to understand all of that stuff going into it. And so, yeah, I mean, if you are unable to identify what you need to identify as anomalous versus not, then you're not really investigating, you're ghost hunting, which is you're just trying to get a thrill, which a lot of people
it's just
do.
It's just a different type of it's a research. That's a personal form of research, yeah.
Well, yeah, that's like I don't necessarily, I mean, I don't know if I would call it research.
It is for that person. It may not be like scientific research for the betterment of the field or the world, but
what are they researching?
That person, they're acquiring knowledge about a topic that has interest.
They're educating themselves.
Yes, so they are researching.
I don't know if I would call it researching is diving into a topic that I mean, I guess, yeah, but it's when we start getting loose with
you're diving in. No, not really. That's very direct. It's not even semantic. That's a very direct thing.
Into an unexplored or unknown area of an unknown or unexplored area of field. I don't know.
It's just called learning some new shit.
That's research.
Or research, right?
Scientists research.
Also,
archaeologists, but archaeologists
historians research.
Yes, you're trying to
research
to connect the dots that haven't been connected before.
Yes, which is what we do. Which is what I use ITC for, is to try and develop a narrative.
Dots. Yes.
But
the weekend ghost hunters that go with their friends, which is fine. Sure. There's nothing wrong with the people.
You're just being a little judgy. That's all. You're just being a little judgy.
I am, but I'm just saying that we need to start being more definitive on language, man. Language matters. That's how we identify shit.
Well, I don't look at myself as any different than the average person that buys a SV7 and goes. As far as my intent and my purpose for why
I'm not talking about those people.
That makes me a researcher.
Listen, I'm talking about people like you and I that have dedicated ourselves to the field and to the advancement of the study and all of that.
Yeah, we're better than everybody else.
Important. I agree. No, but is a little different for guys who are you know what I mean? It's different for us than it is for Weekend Betty. I'm just throwing out a fucking name, but yeah, I mean, it's different because we have dedicated ourselves to this versus somebody who
I think it's more of I think you need to up what you call what you do. I call that
right. That's why I'm saying people like you and I, language matters.
I'm not just a researcher. I have a calling to do something.
I'm an experimentalist. I'm not a researcher, man.
I have a calling to experience and document my experiences with the supernatural.
That's fun. And I'm not I'm not even an investigator, dude. I'm not an investigator. I'm not a researcher. I'm an
investigator sometimes.
I ghost hunt occasionally. I like to ghost hunt occasionally, but I am an experimentalist and a builder. That's it.
I am an investigator, but I'm an investigator and a researcher and
but yeah, you're involved with
an engineer of sorts, an inventor, because of my calling. All those things
Yes.
I do because of the calling that I believe that I have, which is to explore those. I think some people are meant to look into those places where the average person isn't meant to look because for whatever reason, I don't know why. I'm not saying have any sort of. I'm not even psychic. I'm not a medium or anything like that. I just I think that might be why I have a calling to look into these things is because I can take like a Batman like approach in a world where everybody claims to have all the powers and know all the things, and I am Batman with no powers, and Batman without the money.
I'm gonna argue though that I'm gonna argue that you have a closer connection to death than most, just because of your service and what you experienced, and the fact that you were medically discharged, right? Because you got some shrapnel.
Medically retired. No, because I freaking like destroyed the cartilage in my knee jumping out of a truck out on patrol.
That got hit by an IED or something.
That's the thing that well, no, that was my back. My back got jacked up by the IED blast. That was I got pictures of that. My knee, I jacked that up. Yeah, that's a long story.
But on top of that, though, I mean, you have seen your friends, like your fucking fellow soldiers that you fought with. You've seen
lose limbs. Yeah, some good friends.
So I mean,
see them 1 minute, everybody's getting on the plane going to different parts of Afghanistan. Next thing you know, they're just gone. They're dead. You hear they're dead, and you never see them again. It's like they didn't.
Well,
then you get back to the rear where their family and everybody was, and it's like they were part of everything, and then all of a sudden they're gone, like they were never there.
Well, I think also as a soldier that has seen combat and has, had to do what you had to do while you were over there, I still believe that there's a connection that you will have that's closer to death than the average citizen will have, or the average person who's in this field.
Maybe because of that and other things too. Maybe,
but I think, other
things that I've been through in my life.
Yes, but I think that is like a layer of connection that you will have just because you have, I mean, on top of all the other experience like that. I know I'm not going to say what it was, but the one experience you had as a child and their friends that kind of stuff. I get 100%. All of that affects your connection with the other side and adds to your calling.
Yeah, and your view of mortality as well.
Yeah, I think that's a big one. Is that you're more accepting of it. I think like you're more accepting of it, and like
provides you with plenty of existential crises as well. I've had plenty of those throughout my time, and it's like you go to war, right? You go deploy, and you see just terrible shit, people living in just the most terrible conditions, and it's not like it was great before we got there. They've been like that, and then you see fucked up shit happening, and then you're like, man, if like how in the world can there be a God, dude, when this is so fucked up? Like I've seen all this shit now, and it's not that that's when you start realizing that God is a lot more complicated and like us than I think people people understand. Like when it says in Genesis, God created man in his image, I don't think it just meant what we look like. It meant how we thought, how we think, our emotions are.
He's a jealous God.
Yeah, but he was a jealous God, a very wrathful, vengeful God in the Old Testament, and like people would be. It shows emotions, right? It shows so anyway, but that's,
I mean, it's also in that same sense though. Like even myself, when I had my my cardiac arrest in 2006, like that put me in a state of like limbo, so to speak. I was in a coma and they thought I was going to be in a vegetative state, right? So like in that sense, I was not in my physical body. So but I came back. So where was my consciousness during all of that? So like I have that kind of connection to like the other side, but you've been around it. Like you experienced it a lot. Like I have no major deaths in my family except my,
it's not all about death though. It's not all about death. Like everybody thinks.
I think it puts you close to that curtain though.
I think we're looking at death a lot of times when we're doing paranormal investigations. We think we're dealing with death, right? But I don't think all paranormal.
No, well, yes, but that's not what I was
people who have died. No, but I understand what you're saying. I understand. That's just a little aside to that. A little interesting.
It's almost like you got your bathing suit on and you're on the pool deck, but you're not in the pool, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You're wearing your shirt on in the pool. You're wearing your shirt, wearing a t-shirt in the pool.
Maybe if I was like 120 pounds heavier,
or
start having some man boobs.
Ghostly white, so you don't get sunburned.
Oh my god! Is that you in the summertime?
My mom used to want me to wear a shirt, and I wouldn't. And I would go to the beach like first week after school was out, and we'd go down to Myrtle Beach, and I'd go out and I'd get just burnt all to shit first day. I'd get burnt so bad, like I get water blisters. We call them water blisters that come up.
Yeah,
real bad, and I just be peeling. I'm addicted to peeling.
Off the first skin, the sunburn. Yeah,
but no, I get burned once and then I tan. So
yeah. You're like Colleen. You're a day walker as well.
I am a day walker. Yeah.
If anybody's wondering where that comes from, it's South Park.
There's a Blade South Park reference. They were referencing Blade, and we're referencing Blade was a day walker. He could walk around during the day without bursting into flames. So that was the joke South Park made in reference to Blade. And now we're referencing. It's so meta. This conversation's gotten too meta.
Well, no, South Park was referencing ginger kids.
But also Blade.
I mean, yes, because
they can go out in the sun.
They were talking about
ginger is a ginger, or a daywalker is a ginger. They can go out in the sun. Like Blade was the daywalker because he was a vampire, but he could go out in the sun.
He was saying Kyle was a daywalker because he's a ginger that could walk around in the day.
Right, like Blade. Yeah, it's fucking hilarious. Yeah, I say that to people all the time. They get a kick.
Are you blonde or redhead?
I'm blonde. It's strawberry blonde. When I was little, yeah, it's turning a little white now. I'm getting some.
You're an old fart in there, so it's okay.
Hey, I know a lot of older dudes than me that I can always call them and make me feel 10 times
I'm
better.
getting freaking white in my beard, man, and I'm only 34. I don't like it.
I mean, the hair that I have left isn't gray.
Well,
I have most of my hair. I have a lot of hair, dude. But I got a bald spot in the back. I got most of my hair.
See, I have I'm not gonna have a receding hairline like my dad does. I got a full head of hair. But
yeah, you got one of them chimp hairlines on you, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker comes down to your nostrils.
What?
It's an exaggeration joke, like when you make a joke.
Yeah, that was bad.
No, it wasn't
bad. That was like
I could have said it looks like your eyebrows and your hairline are about to meet in combat on the battlefield of your forehead. That would be your hairline's super low. You have a low hairline.
My hairline is normal length, bro. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
It's a little lower though. Seems like
it's normal.
This is a nice hairline. I'm not bagging on it. It's a great one. I have a James Woods hairline. So
you do nothing. You have James Woods hair.
I have James Woods hair. I do. I know. I
didn't even fucking think about that.
When I get out of the shower, I fucking brush it. And I'm like, fuck.
Okay, can you please pull up a picture of James Woods? Just fucking do it, please.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
I can't remember.
It
wasn't that long ago. I saw a picture.
You fucking brought it up. And so now it's.
I was like, me and him have the identical fucking hairline, dude. This is fucking ridiculous. This is probably when he was about my age, maybe. Yeah. probably a little younger, maybe.
Hey, you know what?
Every time I freaking does that, it does that. Why is it doing this to me?
It does. You do have James Lewis's hairline. Your you don't slick your hair back though. If you were,
no, I don't.
To slick your hair back like that, you probably could. Like you probably
see this right here, that right there, this one, that is like
that's you. Like if you
that's
you
me
could
when I get out of the
face,
shower after my hair dries.
Bro, you could put your face on his head, and I would not be able to tell that was him. Like I would think that was you.
That's pretty damn close. Yeah, that's except for the gray. I didn't realize it until recently how fucking close I had a hairline. I had a James Wood hairline.
That's okay, man. There was a guy. Somebody posted me. I can't remember who it was. They posted me in they were watching the news or something, and there was one dude that was like my doppelganger. But he was like,
well, they say we have a clone somewhere in the world. The statistics say that there's at least one person out there. I think it's actually more than one, but there's at a minimum one person out there that is looks identical to you in almost every way. Yeah, that's crazy, ain't it? He might live in like Lithuania or Turkmenistan or something, but he's out there.
There's a Chinese version of you. An Indian
Chinese version of Elon Musk, and that shit's hilarious, dude.
There is.
That shit is fucking insane.
Oh, you gotta love it, though.
Oh, Lord. All right. Well, I think it's our hour's about up. So let's Austin, you got anything you want to throw in here at the end?
Stay
quiet,
generic.
Right?
Stay generic.
Stay generic. Don't
be generic. Which one was it? I don't remember.
Don't stay spooky.
No,
stay
don't
spooky.
Be generic.
Don't be generic. Stay spooky.
Stay unique.
Stay weird, bro.
Be different. Yeah, stay weird.
Number one rule in life that you always have to remember. Just one thing. If you have to remember anything in life, the one rule that you have to remember.